Guys, it's John from theproductivegarden.com, and I'm here to hopefully do the last part of uniting the nuke that I've put in this side of the top bar hive with this swarm that was in this side of the top bar hive. Now, I think you'll find that what's inside here hasn't quite gone to plan for me. It's been in here for a little bit longer than what I planned for it to be. That's because if everything is still the same as when I look at it, I have looked at it through my observation window on this side, but they didn't actually chew through the queen excluder, the paper that was on it. They've found little holes where they can get through, and I'll have a look and see what I think's happened. But what I think has happened is the swarm from here has, just through meeting and greeting through the little gaps around the thing, moved over and united with these guys here. And we'll go in and have a look and see exactly what's going on in there. I'll give them a bit of smoke, just so they aren't too funky. Rightio. Okay, now first we'll have a look at what's going on in this side. I don't think there's a whole lot going on. Rightio, now this side here, there's still a few bees hanging around, doing their thing. Okay, but there's pretty much no honey in here. There's a few bees just doing their thing. Okay, now I have seen the bees moving from one side into the other. Okay, now I'll just move all this stuff again. Sort that out. Now, if I do give you a look, or the reason I think that they united is because they can move from one side to the other, but there aren't a heap of dead bees in here. There aren't a heap of dead bees on the ground underneath. So I would have thought that if they just attack these guys and kill them all, there'd be dead bees all over the place. But there's none. There's none on the floor. I haven't noticed any of what's going on this side. Right, they have chewed up the paper a little bit, and I'll just give you a look at what they've done. They've really only chewed up the paper just around the edges. Just make sure I'm showing you right. Yeah, you can see here, just around the edges, they've chewed the paper off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to completely remove the paper. So this will become a queen excluder. And this side was the side where the bees were actually at, the nuke was at. So they've obviously done a bit of work in chewing this paper up, but not enough to get through. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of all this paper and I'll put that in, and what we'll do is we'll try and find the queen and we'll shake her into this side of the hive, and hopefully that'll stop her getting back through to where the brood is, and they'll start laying brood here. So let's do that. I'll put this back here. Now it's not going to matter terribly much if there's a bit of paper left on the side. The bees will chew it off if they don't really like it there. So we'll pull these bars back and see how they're going. Okay, so there's a bit of what's this silly bee doing? Okay, they're off there. Okay, so now they have built some comb off the bottom of these bars. Unfortunately, they built it in line this way instead of building across this way, because of course that's where the frames go. So we're going to have to probably destroy a little bit of comb. There's going to be a bit of a mess here. And of course I probably just left it here way too long as well. Geez, they well and truly stuck it down, that's for sure. A little bit of honey being stored in there. So what I'm really going to have to do is I'm going to have to clean all the honeycomb off these bars. And off the top, and actually it's starting to lift the whole frames now. Whoops. Rightio. Now we've got all the bars off the top. Now just going to have to try and clean things up a bit. Now, what I will do before I clean things up, I'll move all these bars out of the way. Probably should have moved them out of the way beforehand. Just going to put them over here on my table so that I can remove some of the bars over here. Okay, now this next bit my mic has been playing up again, so I'll just have to narrate over the top of it. So I'll just give the bees a little bit more smoke. They're just starting to get a bit riled up here. So we'll just calm them down. And it's also clearing them from the top of the frame so I can pick them up a bit easier without squashing any bees. So we'll get this smoke on, and then we'll start getting these frames and honeycombs out of this part of the top bar hive. Got to uncover my hive tool when I've buried it under all the top bars here, so now it's ready to use. Okay, now this is the first frame coming out. It's not too badly stuck in, it just had a couple of a little bit of burr comb on the outside. Just got to check it for the queen, and on this one I didn't find the queen, and what I'll do once I've had a look at it and made sure the queen's not on there, I'll just shake it into this side of the hive. Get them all in there, then I can just set this down near the ground, just make sure the queen's not on it again. The reason I don't want to set it down on the ground with the queen on it is because I don't want her to fall into the grass and then I step on her and I've pretty much lost the queen if I do that, and I'd have to pretty much start from the beginning. But she's not on this frame. And I'll just clean some of the honeycomb off the top. So set this down on the ground, and now I can get some of the other comb that they built. And this is just comb that they built from the top bars. Of course they built it across the top bars instead of along it, so I couldn't really keep it. It's got a lot of brood on this comb, and again I had to look for the queen on it. I mean, it would have been nice to have saved the brood, but I wasn't really set up for saving that brood. If I had had a few things ready, I could have probably attached this comb to the top bars, but they've got plenty of brood in the frame that are still there, and the queen's laying a lot, so they'll have no problem getting brood laid in the part of the hive with the actual comb hanging off the top bars. So I'm not too worried about losing that brood. Okay, we've got the other bit of comb coming out now, and again got to check that for the queen, make sure she's not on there, or see whether or not she is. And basically the reason I want to check for the queen is if I do find her, or when I do find her, I want to make sure she goes into the right hand side of the hive as we're looking at it now, and just make sure she gets in there safely and undamaged so that she can keep doing her job. So she's not on this bit of comb here, and what I'll do is once this is once the bees are cleaned up this up a bit, I'll actually melt that wax down and make it into a wax block. So the comb won't go to waste, it'll be used to make other beeswax products. So we'll get the next frame out and check this one for the queen. I've actually got a bit of burr comb off the side of this, which is going to be great to have to clean off.
Okay, so on this bar, what I'm looking at now and what I'm about to show you is a bit of burr comb that they built off the side. So they've got the honeycomb that they built within the frame, and because they had the space to build some, they actually built some comb that's basically hanging off the side of it. So we'll just check whether the queen's on here. I don't want to carry it out and accidentally drop her like I said before. Just having a careful look for her, and it's hard to find, especially with this burr comb. It's hard to see if she's in between it. So we'll get the excess bees off, and we'll just check this frame again to make sure she's not on there. Okay, and I don't find the queen on this frame either. And we'll have a look at this burr comb. Just make sure they're all off. So you'll see here, you've got this comb that they built off the side.
If I can get it where you can see they built some comb off the side there. So they've done that because they've had space to build some comb, so they went ahead and did it. Okay, so I will have to lever this bit of burr comb off. Okay, that came off fairly well. Okay, let's get this bit of honeycomb off. Put this over here, and I'll get this bit of burr comb off as well. Rightio. Alright, I'll put this back in there. I'm pretty sure she's not in here on this bit. Now, hoping that I can positively identify her on this bit. So it would be good to know that I've definitely got her in the right side now. Right. I actually can't see her on this side either. Not always the best at spotting queens, I'll admit to that. But sometimes I manage to spot them. Ah, there she is. Found her. So I definitely know. Where is she? Definitely saw her, nice fat girl. Where is she again? There she is, she's just on the bottom here. Okay, so what I'll do, it's being a bit of a pain. Where is she? See if I can find her again. If I can, I'll see if I can show you when I find her. On here. Ah, there she is, I've found her. So she's up the top here, actually laying an egg. So what I'll do is bring her over, I'll keep an eye on her. Okay, there she is, right there. That big girl there with the big long abdomen. So that's the queen. So I definitely know where she is. So I'll get her off into this side. What I'll do is see if I can get her to climb onto here. No, she ran away from it as soon as she saw it. Okay, just going to have to just make sure she shakes off. Rightio, she's in there, and I can see her, she's alright. Rightio, so there you go, queen's in there. I definitely know she is in without a doubt, I know she's in this side of the thing. Now I'll see if I can see her. Hopefully she's crawling up. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up to here. Rightio, I'm going to actually take this cork out, and they're getting a bit cranky, so I'm going to sort of put everything together as much as I can and close them back down. Now I'm just going to leave the bit of honeycomb on the top of this one here. Okay, so I'll close these guys back down. And yes, actually, if you want to know what it smells like, the pheromone smell when they do get cranky, and I can definitely smell it now. It's like a banana smell. Very interesting to smell it. Right, now that brood comb, unfortunately, that brood comb that I pulled off, we're just going to lose that brood. No worries, we've still got heaps of brood in here. The queen is in here, so that's no problem. So what I need to do is get rid of all these guys off the top here. Come on, go down. And I'll actually get some bars and start putting these guys back. So we'll get this top bar in. Rightio. So they're in there nice and snug now. Get all these guys off the top. Some of these are the injured and dying, unfortunately, and some not so. Rightio, so we'll put the top on and finish all this up. Oop, I better make sure I didn't mess that up. No, it's all good. Rightio, so there we go, the top's back on. Clean up some of this honeycomb here and take it inside so the family can have some. And until next time, happy productive gardening. Bye.